we really need autism-friendly Christmas grottos? Most kids love Christmas, the build-up, the lights, and especially that annual trip to Santa's grotto in the local shopping center. But for some children, it's not quite that simple. Those on the autistic spectrum can be easily overwhelmed by the overstimulation that often results from noisy crowds and queues, not to mention the basic weirdness of being asked to sit with a complete stranger and tell him their heart's desires. But why shouldn't kids with autistic spectrum disorder enjoy the same things as everyone else during the festive season? There are alternatives available. Stockport-based autism support group autistic offers social activities and parent drop-ins for families who have children with additional needs including autism, anxiety and social communication difficulties. Jan Barkworth, the founder, explained, "As a parent of children with autism and anxiety, I know for myself what a challenge it is to visit Santa in his grotto. So we decided to create our own in order to offer families private visits in a safe calm environment with little to no noise or people. It has the added benefit of a sensory room for the families to relax in before or after the visit, for free, if necessary." To avoid meltdowns, autistic asks that parents bring their own gift for Santa to give the child. "We hope that the grotto will give families an enjoyable everlasting memory of visiting Santa without experiencing sensory overload or judgment from people who don't understand autism," said Ms. Barkworth. Another option is Autism Puzzles in Cardiff, which offers breakfast with Santa in a stress-free environment. Activities such as a craft area are provided and every child receives a visit and present from Santa, with the option of having a family photo taken with the man himself. Kat Williams, who works at Autism Puzzles, explained, "For some families, this is the only opportunity they will have to take their child with autism to visit Santa. The queues are usually too long, the noise overwhelming, and the grottos are enclosed, brightly colored, and typically operate a one-way system. The anxiety, sensory issues, and difference to a typical outing makes the activity prohibitive to far too many families," she said. Lydia Nizablian took her children to the Autism Puzzles breakfast event last year. She said, "It was vaguely festive but not in a loads of colored lights and magical elves and naughty holder screaming it's Christmas. Sensory overload kind of way." Ms. Nizablian felt that Santa understood about kids on the spectrum. "When he approached our family, he clocked the 'please don't talk to us, I'm not looking' body language my children were projecting and instead talked to me, asking if I had been good and that he hoped the kids had a beautiful time and please could they leave Rudolph a carrot. He wished them all Merry Christmas without trying to make them make eye contact, and the kids didn't have to queue up to talk to him, they could just check him out from the corner of their eye and a helper brought their gift over." Crucially for Ms. Nizablian, everyone knew what to expect. No one gave a flying figgy pudding if a child was silently eating ketchup and toast the whole time. Another was spinning in circles or one of them stood behind the tree the entire time and opened her present there, she said. There was no anxious wondering about whether another parent would complain or tut about her kid's behavior. Our autistic kids need somewhere to celebrate in their own way, and a welcoming, non-judgmental environment that won't overload their senses, where they can unapologetically be themselves, she said. Some parents have struck lucky with standard Santas, but it can be very hit and miss. Kirsty Heathcote has an autistic son, who was 4 when they last went to a pain grotto. 79% of autistic people say they feel socially isolated. With 700,000 autistic people in the UK, it is absolutely heartbreaking to think how many autistic people, like my boys, feel a sense of loneliness, especially at Christmas. Helen, mum to Samuel and Thomas. On Giving Tuesday, we ask you to give a gift to help families like Helen's get the support they need. bit.ly/weblink #autism #autism awareness #Christmas appeal #autism world #autism life. A post shared by National Autistic Society, at National Autistic Society, on November 28, 2017 at 5 a.m. PST. He was transfixed by an electronic glittering game they had in the queue and attempts to move him along so that others could have a go ended with him lying on the floor holding his breath, she recalled. Then he started to get upset by the noise of people around him. By the time it was our turn to go in, he was smacking himself in the face and we were told he would ruin it for others if he didn't calm down. When we finally got in, he pretty much ignored Santa and we came straight back out with a coloring jigsaw with fairies on it. What a waste of £10. Last year though, Ms. Heathcote took her kids to see Santa at a free grotto in the MacArthur Glen shopping village in Mansfield. It was early, which probably helped, but she was pleased that there was no whining noisy queue and no twinkling lights or loud music, and her autistic son was fine. Santa didn't even bat an eyelid when he asked to smell him. These are the top 100 baby names of 2017 in the UK. Letters to Santa reveal most wanted toys this Christmas. Children in number 039's imaginary friends are in trouble, and here and number 039's how you can help. Not everyone is so lucky though, and there are parents who have had to make alternative arrangements for kids who love Christmas but simply cannot cope with standard grottos. Lynn Miller's son is 14 and is obsessed with Christmas, but it can be hard to take him to events intended for much younger children and deal with queues or frustration from older parents. This year, she's decided to make Christmas work for them, rather than the other way around. I'm getting someone to dress up and come to the house this year, because he so loves Santa, but the grottos are becoming challenging, explained Ms. Heathcote. Kids with sensory disorders and autism should be able to take part in the Christmas spirit without their parents having to make such arrangements, which is why we need more autism-friendly grottos, so that no one misses out. For help and advice about autism spectrum disorder, contact the National Autistic Society. More, Autism Awareness Week. Stop telling me I don't look autistic, it's not something you can see. More, how to survive Christmas with an autistic child. More, 11 things I've learned since being diagnosed as autistic.